What's good, people? Happy Friday. Made you a super chill thing this morning for the opening tunes. Hope you're all digging it. A little mellow vibe. It is Feedback Friday, though. We'll get the blood pumping here in just a moment. If you have brought tunes for feedback, be sure to visit the Discord and drop them in the public feedback channel. Discord link there in the chat. Public feedback is where you drop those. Let's see who's here. Saf is here. We just subbed 48 months. 48 months. That's quite a streak you got going there, Saf. Big love. Much appreciation, homie. And be safe in the hurricane if it's coming your way. Zev! Will! How you doing, homie? Saf got to see the Chameleons last night. They were great. Post-punk act from the 80s. Mark Burgess still has his vocals. Next month he's going to go see Front 242, which is amazing. That's going to be one heck of a show. And those guys are playing with the Crystal Method. It's quite the lineup. Will! Dude, did you bring new stuff? I'm Lush is here. Happy Friday. You're saying I finally decided to make a track again. Who better to critique it than OhmLab? I'm honored. Let's dig in, huh? Liv is here. How you doing, Liv? Hope you're doing well. Scruffy Rico, 34 months, dude. Man. Haven't you got anything better to do with yourself over there? I appreciate you, brother. Who else is here? Let's see here. Ooh, Scruffy saying, I love this. This is tasty, right? It's so simple. This is field recording. Untouched. And then it's got 3 little elements. It's got an instance of metaphysical function, and it's kicking out something pretty minimal here. It's just these tiny little, tiny little texture bits. And I've got them delayed. Not too much going on here, just a little bit of texture play. And then we got this, which is an instance of iteration 12, which is a modular rack, which you can pick up on the Reaktor user library for free. And running one of the patches in here, also very minimal. And then Thule. We all love Thule. It's a little FM synth wind chime kind of thingy running inside a reactor. That's it. That's all we got. Visor! We're going to have another Visor moment today. I have a feeling. Ooh. Dude. Zev was on Digweed's Transition Radio this morning. Mega celebrations tonight. Oh yes, very nice. What's this called? This plugin here? This is called Tuuli, Tuuli, I believe. Yeah, Tuuli. Super tiny little FM synth. Runs in a few different modes. This is the Sufi mode. It's really nice stuff. You can grab it. It's free on the Reaktor user library as well. All those things are. Maybe, says Visor. There might be a Visor moment today. All right. Well, we made it through another week. It's Friday. I hope lots of you brought music to listen to. We'll dip over there in just a moment. If you're subbed, you get free sounds. Go grab your free sounds because this month it is trinkets. And everybody always wants trinkets, so grab trinkets while it's there. I believe I've completed the UI pack that you guys watched me do over the last week plus. We ended up with several hundred sounds. I'll probably have a demo and all the files named on Monday and share it with you guys then. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. It turned out all pretty well. Not sure I have other big updates for you guys. Except for the next thing that is going to be released by us is getting better every single day. I have uploaded tens of thousands of sounds into it over the past week plus. It's starting to get really real. It's going to be pretty great. It's going to be pretty great. Ludi is here. Welcome in, Ludi. Aklud is saying, gazelles are known as swift animals. Some can run at bursts as high as 100 kilometers per hour, 60 miles per hour, or run at sustained speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, 30 miles per hour. Gazelles are found mostly in the deserts, grasslands, and savannas of Africa, but they're also found on twitch.tv/OhmLab, Southwest and Central Asia. Respect the gazelle. Nice. Is that what you find when you look it up on Wikipedia? Perhaps. Art Lab. Ooh, nice. SFX and song snippets. This is awesome. Yeah, I hope that is what we find when we look up gazelle on Wikipedia. Maybe we should submit that to David Attenborough, so next time he does a documentary about gazelles, he can actually get it right. Oh. And include the audio clip, right? So they know what gazelles actually sound like when they're leaping. Aklud, doing all right. Doing all right. It's Friday. We're about to fire up these tunes. Been sitting here listening to this super chill stuff for the past little bit. I think we're ready to shift gears. We've got a garage sale happening behind the scenes out that way today, so we do run the risk of a super excited child running in here at any point in time. We've discussed this not happening, but I don't know. You can't always control on super exciting days, so. Ardlap, excellent. Remind me about those when we get to your spot in the queue too, because I want to make sure we hear all of the everythings, the music and the sound effects. All right, to the Discords, shall we? Public feedback. Scruffy Rico's first in line. Hey, look at that ship. Dude. Man, look at them AI brush strokes there. And Zev is here, bright and early, happy with the yellow text over here. Oh. Yeah, I think Scruffy Rico will be just fine with that. Let's hit play, because that's not much time for you. And I'm probably going to blabber for a minute, so let's do that. We get to hear something new from Zev. Dude, feel free to spam links. Well. And are you around this weekend? Because I want to catch up with you and I want to hear about the super exciting today. So yes. Thank you, Adlap. Shall we? This one's called Ritual. Oclude, I think you should. I mean, it's just that, you seem to be an authority on the topic of gazelles. I'm not sure who else around here is a greater authority. So, I mean, I think maybe we're all just kind of looking to you. You know, check out the big brain on Ludi. Going over there, making the Wikipedia hum. Let's listen to Will. Okay, hold my beer. This is great. guy. Dude, super groovy. I like I like the balance. I love where the guitar is sitting right now. Like I wish it could be revealed just a little bit more fully, like come just a little bit more forward towards the crescendo. But it feels so good in there. It's got the Ludi just updated Wikipedia. This is great. We'll check it out. Um, yeah, just that energy of like the searing notes of the guitar hanging in there. Just it's great. It's great. I love the simple warm tone of this pulse. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that previously. 1 minute in, I'd watched the loudness on the 2 to 6K range on the ARP. It felt like the loudness was just kind of getting pushed a little bit more than it needed to, and you could kind of feel it in those frequencies up there. At 130, wanting like a long form saturation swell on the bass, so it goes wah here and there. There's a couple of spots where like if a saturation peak was to align at just the right moment, it would just make the whole thing just like 206, wanting a little more dynamic range, a little more flux in the build. It's got very little change in the waveform itself, but it's got a huge amount of impact happening in that moment. So I would just kind of align those two things and make greater amount of change happen in like presence and loudness. So that way that energy translates even more. And dude, the one that happens like 2 minutes later is 309. This felt a little less smooth than it could be. I feel like you do this in most of your songs. You've got this moment like this, and it's usually a little bit more smooth than this. That's what I meant when I said that, in that unsmooth way. What if there's like a little fill or a reversal, or maybe even just like a little, some kind of soft touch transition effect could just kind of fly through the air at that point or something. 413, just all of the feels. All of the feels. So good. This is the chef's kiss. Mwah. This is so good. Man. And the guitar, man, when it comes in, it's just like, there it is. This is it. It feels like it is being pushed back in the mix, which feels right to a point. When it gets to this like kind of fever pitch, though, as it's operating, I feel like it's coming toward the front, and then it like transitions back into full electronic mix or something. But it does kind of feel like it's being withheld a little bit there. And dude, this little formant guy that actually really kind of has a chance to peek out during the outro segment is really fun. It's fun to like listen for it, waiting for it to come around each time. It's good stuff. Awesome. Really good stuff, Will. Good luck in the meeting. Blackberry, welcome in. Let's just see what happens with Gazelle here. Oh, look at that. Hey, look at that. We are learning about gazelles here. And gazelles are mostly found in the deserts and grasslands and savannas of Africa, but they're also found on twitch.tv/OhmLab in Southwest and Central Asia and in the Indian subcontinent. They tend to live in herds and eat fine, easily digestible plants and leaves. And the sound that they make when leaping with joy is actually often misrepresented in documentaries. We have the real deal here. When someone subs, you hear it. It's true. I read it on Wikipedia, so it's got to be true. That stuff is like, it's checked by the community, you know? Ludi, you're amazing. Oh man, I Scruffy, sorry, I just kind of volunteered you there. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, Scruffy won't mind. And then Will walks in with just this banger. It's amazing. It's incredible. Thank you for being a good sport. Scruffy, I appreciate you. All right, Scruffy Rico's saying, okay, no video. A track I am getting played at Wait, hold on a second. A track I am getting played on BBC introducing. I've teamed up with Rokusai to revamp this one. This is where we are at currently. Feedback appreciated. Okay. All right, so this one's going to the BBC, and it's a collab with Rokusai. Let's do this. Yeah. One, they're gonna love this. Howdy, Zendremic. How you doing? They're gonna eat this up, and I love it. It's great. I love the intro. It really really sets the stage, and the texture on everything is really really good. Um it has a similar quality uh that the BBC has been kind of aiming for with a lot of their uh kind of more heady drama stuff ever since they started working with like Two Fingers and um Amon Tobin side project whatnot. It's kind of reminiscent of this in a way. The texture stuff. It's really good. I really like the ambiguity of the low end. And at around 124 or so, if there was just a tiny little nudge up around 85 hertz with some saturation, I think it would just be lovely. It would just buzz in just a certain sort of way. 220, wanting a little bit more breathing room, like a softer landing out of the transition, just so you have a little bit more um, to travel up when you get back up to full mix again. 223, this synth is coming in hot here, I think, and if it came in more gently and worked its way up to around 250-ish, being kind of that full mix point, I think it would kind of feel a little bit more in line with the way that you come out of that transition. And just like the pace at that moment too. At 329, this is just absolutely gorgeous. Like this whole moment right here. Um, it does feel just a little bit pushed. Um, and at 405, I feel like the kick can be just a little bit more subtle here. Like we've just kind of come down just a little bit, and maybe it can have just a little bit of the top end shaved off and the end coupled more dB down. Um, and I like the feelings happening at 434. This is a really nice arc that you guys have constructed here. Blackberry. Blackberry's here saying, my only comment on this track is that some of the very rapid hard pan delay on a couple of the sounds is a little distracting to the ear. It's pulling focus away from the rest of the track. I would suggest try starting it a little softer panned and say the 4/8 positions and then have the subsequent repeats fall the hard pan position. But if this is a film placement, that might not matter. It is. Yeah, it is. It's interesting, right? Like so much of the like rhythmic elements intended for screen with a lot of like filter play with resonance and stuff, like a lot of it has really hard jump pan position stuff, and it has for a long time. um, I was just having these same exact thoughts yesterday as I was going through a whole bunch of content and redoing demo tracks for a whole bunch of different packs, and um, just kind of realizing how much more flippin' chaotic it all really is, like when taken completely out of context, and just compared apples to apples, like stuff intended for speakers versus stuff intended for screen is there's just two very different types of expectations happening there with that stuff. Man, Wikipedia giving us a little learning moment with the Gazelle this morning. Just kind of thinking back to that. All right, we got Kyan. Ah, let's try that again. There we go. Look at this innocent, cute little innocent character here from Kyan making music. Gone wrong. Let's see what happens.
Hard dive into frozen waves where the past comes back to life. Fight fear For the selfish pain, it was worth it every time. Hold still right before we crash, 'cause we both know how it ends. Car kicks till it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again.
If you get that forward line.
Cloud nine, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. Finally doing me and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Going to the club.
Let's go gambling.
Like a star, you can't stop my shine. By the cloud nine, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, solo.
Oh, dang it.
Shadow with a couple stars circulars. Was it all for a show? Your heart is so stupid, we got some rules. It's a little curse exposed. I wish that I was in your clothes. I wish that I was in your clothes. Fly, fly, leaves, I try not to get outside. Couldn't think about you, and it's just the things like that. Something thoughts from the soul to the back of my head. And I get all the money, someone can't ever know.
Dude, this is fun. You've got so much energy in this thing, and it feels like there's something sitting between me and this music that isn't allowing everything to be as clear and like well defined as I feel like it wants to be, right? Um, so getting the vocals up on top a little bit more of the music is gonna help with this. Um, at 142, this vocoded vocal is a really cool effect. I'm wondering if you've tried mixing in more of the dry to see if you could get a little bit more um, definition around those um, words as they're being delivered, and then also wondering if all the vocals just in general can just use some multiband compression to help kind of shape and push these different bands of frequencies to help get the mid range, especially the upper mid range of the vocals, get them a bit more present, and then I think they're going to cut through the mix a little bit better, and that's going to help them feel just a little bit more up on top of the mix. And I feel right now it's kind of like this, and at times almost like this, where the vocal just kind of gets buried. Hey, Blackberry kind of nails it right here. He says, this track almost sounds like a bunch of things in the center of the mix were sent to a bus compressor that had its polarity inverted. It could also be streaming playback. The center image seems to be collapsed, and the low end seems to be sucking and not pushing air on the rise of the initial transient. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's, when you've got a basketball and it's all freshly pumped up and you bounce it, there's this clear and pleasant or present resonant ring, right, to it. But when it becomes a bit more deflated, you lose all of that, right? This is kind of that quality, right? It still is a basketball and it will still bounce. It's not going to bounce up as lively as it did, and it doesn't have that resonant ring. Everything else about it is still the same cool. It's still the same thing. But it is missing that thing. So I feel like that's really where we are with this one. I think BlackBerry's right. Sometimes it's good to go through and turn a whole bunch of stuff off on a busy project and see what stuff sounds like. Mr. Lush, yeah. Ooh, excellent. Okay, at 10:29 a.m., Mr. Lush says, started this about 1 hour and a half ago, so the mixing is still meh. I think I have the main idea down. Let's do this.
I've been known to miss a red flag. I've been known to put my lover on a pedestal. In the end, those things just don't last. And it's time I take my rose-colored glasses off. Don't you know I could do this dance all night? Ooh, what you doing? Don't know who you think that you're confusing. I'd be like, ooh, it's amusing. You think I'm gonna fall for an illusion? Was a time when action mattered work. Was a time when I just threw a match and let it burn. Now I'm grown, I know what I deserve. I still like that too with the lessons I already learned. Don't you know I could do this dance all night? Ooh, what you doing? Don't know who you think that you're confusing. I'd be like, ooh, it's amusing. You think I'm gonna fall for an illusion? Illusion. I really like the way you're moving. Yeah, I just wanna dance with the illusion. Yeah, I just wanna dance with. Yeah, I just wanna dance with your dance all night. Ooh, what you doing? Don't know who you think that you're confusing. I'd be like, ooh, it's amusing. You think I'm gonna fall for an illusion? What you doing? Don't know who you think that you're confusing. I'd be like, ooh, it's amusing.
Excuse me.
You think I'm gonna fall for an illusion?
Okay, I'd bring the Vox reverb down just a little bit and perhaps shorten the decay a bit as well. It just feels like it's maybe a little bit too present in the mix. Also, EQ the reverb channel to remove any unnecessary low frequencies. If there are any lurking in there. 108, I really like this cool build idea. It's really percussive. I always like percussive builds personally. I'd EQ the individual elements a bit tighter here. Even if the EQ's more relaxed elsewhere in the arrangement, I would tighten them here so we can hear with greater clarity this kind of rapid fire articulation that's happening. Pick one element that gets to keep its lower frequencies and cut all the others around like 120, 150 or something like that, because they're all just going to be like on top of each other. And it'll probably feel a little bit better. Really good energy build and release, 140. The LUFs are being pushed a bit more than they need to be in general on this one. I'm sure you probably just made it loud to get it out the door. Bass can come down a touch, relax accenting and saturation on the highs. As it is right now, it's a really quality bass, but also that high-end grit at this level of loudness is kind of distracting or kind of dominating everything else, instead of just kind of outshining everything else, right? I think there's a difference of it could be as much as like 6 dB. You could bring it down maybe and still have it be really, really good position. Might want to do a couple of different comps and compare them, right? A/B them, bounce some, walk away for a couple of hours, come back and listen to them and see what you're thinking. Fun track. It's got a ton of energy. Thank you, Visor Music. Appreciate you, homie. Blackberry says, yep, constant re-monitoring and bypass mode, so important. Try and do it every few hours while mixing just to hear the improvements, but more importantly to help notice when things are going sideways. Yeah, that's excellent advice. It's always good to just turn everything off every once in a while and calibrate. It's really good. It's a good thing. Syndremic, thank you. Man, you guys all blessing my face and stuff. Appreciate you guys. OhmLab has been immersed. He forgot he was in the stream. Blackberry says, and in general, the vocals are a little undermixed. It sounds like you didn't do much in terms of volume automation, as the entire track to some degree has an inconsistent relationship of relative and comparative volumes. Leveling. Yeah, different comps is a great idea, especially if you're giving yourself a little bit of space between actually doing that work and then assessing that work. You've not got a ton of time into this, which means you can accomplish a great deal, probably especially early on, but a great deal quickly, and you can really use that to your benefit by working in chunks of time and then coming back with fresh ears and kind of assessing and really be critiquing what you're hearing. And whenever something is jumping out at you like, ooh, what about that? That right there is an opportunity for you to give yourself options to select from. Right? Instead of just making this decision on the spot of like, oh, that's probably, this needs to happen. You work at a pace at which you could probably afford to do this. And then you get to pick the cream of the crop, so to speak. All right. On to the next one. We got a Visor moment here. Is this you, Visor? Oh, and we've got OhmLab. We've got OhmLab in the DMs over here. So let's listen to Visor, and then we'll go listen to what OhmLab has made too. And OhmLab, do I remember correctly? You said only the sound effects, not the music? All right, Visor says, the break melody was originally a sample battle submission I made, and people loved the melody so much, so I decided to make it a full track. It was actually the first time I won a battle in that community. Okay, so this is the community. Despite me submitting for several years now, but the winner idea only started about a year ago, I think. So I made a quick 5-minute video of all my moments in that battle. If you want to check that out too, I'd love to hear what you think. Yes, I would. I love seeing the backstory stuff. It's good stuff. Oh yeah, OhmLab. I'd much rather listen to it all, personally. So let's do that. We're going to watch this and we're going to listen to this thing from Visor. Taco Bell Bish Battle winner. Let's do this.
All right. Anyways, let's do the music's the shit. Hello, YouTube. We're back. Big. Pretty big. Come through the Twitch. Link in the description. Let's get into it. We got a sick sample. Super sick Poggers sample. Wahoo! A lot of energy at the start of the video so you don't click off. Woo! What's up? Whoa, let's go. All right. Woo! This guy's sick. Listen to shit.
I just ordered Taco Bell on DoorDash. But when I opened the bag, they forgot my chalupa. Oh no!
The driver ate it.
Taco Bell on DoorDash. But when I opened the bag, they forgot my chalupa.
I'll be honest, chat. I don't know what the fuck chalupa is, but he's belting. It's in D major, by the way.
Oh. Visor music.
Visor!
Here we go. Okay, and at this point, you've been submitting for 5 years.
There, you heard it. I lied. Zip. Oh shit. Wait, this is gas. Wait, you're back. What the fuck? Visor pin.
Yeah, man.
I love
Ordered
the
a
line
banger
visor,
from Taco
bro.
Bell, man. It's impossible to not lift your arm up into the air. Yes.
Is that an original melody? For real? That's iconic as fuck. You're back. Alright, no sub goal.
That's great. Oh, Visor. This is a Visor moment, by the way.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Good. Maybe my favorite song we've ever done.
Boom. Just like that. Big ups, man.
I just ordered Taco.
I know we did that one. Only 2 ones left. Perfect time to gift if you want to get played. There's not many people left. Keep moving here pretty quickly. We got to get the freak out of here, y'all.
All these people freaking out about your music,
7.
Visor.
Believe we've heard this, right, Chad, or no? Yes, that was an original pin.
I mean,
We
seriously.
already heard Gnome. Take a peep at these pins. Pick a winner real quick.
Seriously.
I'm not
Like,
gonna
just.
listen back to all these. So, chat. Spam in the chat who won, and then I'll pick you the most spammed.
More of this needs to happen on the interwebs. You know? Well, we're not lurking, Vishnu. We're just watching it. Because Visor won for the first time
Visor.
after
Vibes right now.
submitting for 5 years. And look at this. People absolutely. This is like
Did Visor just win a bitch battle?
nearly unanimous here. There's a few Bentons. I see a Gnome. Everyone else is Visor. I'm seeing Goat.
Crazy work. Visor, my goat.
And also,
Stop doing the fucking Twitch!
you can't help it. You have to put your arm up in the air.
See you guys on Thursday.
That was amazing. Yeah, when you posted this video, that actually didn't even look like Vishnu on the cover art that he had there. Well, now it does. I guess it does. Okay, so dude, that was amazing. And big ups and congratulations. That was great. That was great. That was so awesome to see his like reaction to the whole thing. Like, he's obviously so familiar with you, right? You putting stuff up all the time there. Yeah, good stuff, man. That's really great. All right, so let's listen to this track. And then we're going to listen to what Ardlat brought in. And that looks like GG. Something good is in the queue. I see right underneath that. Let's do this. This one's Eternity. Woo! Wow. Layered one bass and one just the mid highs. Yeah, I could tell. Okay, so couple things. One, the triangle, ace. Like good call on the triangle, and also like the sneaky bank heist kind of rhythm that you got going on there. It's dope. Little Mission Impossible vibe before all the screeching happens. It's good stuff. All right, so the bass. I like the bass, and also I can tell that it's two elements, so they're not aligned quite like ideally quite yet, but it's close. So just a little bit more time spent there getting those things glued together. You can kind of hear it at 223. How it kind of sticks out on the sides, and on the top. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? When sounds do this is when people put clothes on their dogs. And have you ever seen someone put like a tight shirt on like a big poofy like poodle kind of dog or whatever, and it like kind of pokes out over the sides, or like bulges out over the sides rather. Anyway, that's kind of what I think about in my mind when I hear sounds do this in mixes. So you've got that happening there with this bass, and it's happening in a few different spots. Okay, the other thing is the loudness. I feel like there is some of the loudness is being achieved through limiting, which is fine, and some of it is being achieved through distortion, which is fine. But it almost seems like some of the stuff that has been really well tuned through distortion doesn't need as much of the limiting that it's receiving. So you might want to do some batch processing of the sounds here. And make sure that you're not overdoing it with the bass, because that could be contributing to what we're experiencing on playback here. Yeah. What are the LUFs sitting at on this one right here? Art Lab. Let's go do Art Lab before I forget. Okay, here we go. Hello. Ardlap was saying, man, I've kind of put music to the side because of sounds. It happens. It happens. Just allow yourself to go back and forth if it's still, you know, a major interest for you. Because, oh my goodness, the level ups you will have in your music because of your dedication to sound. My goodness. Visor says, all right, I do have a plugin that increases the sub root frequency on the master about 2 dB. Should I disable? Yeah, you should disable that. You should totally disable that. So these sounds are all officially made for the games. Nice. Okay. Yeah, whatever you can disable, do disable and listen back to your stuff. My gut tells me that your stuff is probably very close before you even start going through and kind of mixing as a whole on the tracks. I think probably a lot of you that have been coming through for years now with tracks could probably claim that now. Because you're doing so much work as you go, right? All right, so here we go. Yo, okay, this one was great. If I could, I would say there should be a kind of like ramp up quality or like a charge up or an intensity build right here. Boom. So he finally releases here, but between here and here, there could be it's a span of like 3 seconds. You could have like a 3-second charge up kind of thing going on there. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so I like this one. The sub bass, I think, needs to be used more sparingly because I'm hearing it being used for all of the movements. And it's really one of those things that's like accent with it, right? Okay, so for instance, there is actually like some sort of a shot sound in here, which is super dope, right? It might be right here. So let's back up here. Yeah, ooh. It's right here. It's this row kind of sound. Wow. Kind of a thing right here. Okay, so those are the little things that you miss out on when you use the sub bass frequencies a little bit too much. Is that you don't have the opportunity for those little ear candy moments to stand out to the degree that they could, right? So you could choose to do a couple of things here. If you want to keep the sub bass stuff just for impact's sake, just toss a shelf on there. Keep everything exactly how you've got it already, but put a shelf on all of these human movements and leave the the decibel room there for your other sound effects. Yeah, because you really do have a couple of really awesome sounds in there. Hey, again. I thought it was going to spell KO, and I was like, that's freaking brilliant. Okay, the only critique I'd have on this one is that there should be some kind of like debris impact when you slam down into the ground. It happens this one time, right? Boom, right there, and you could have some debris falling and stuff. It's a badass laser action sound in there. The sub frequencies being saturated or distorted to the degree that they are is pretty fatiguing on the ears. So I would not push those frequencies at that volume. Keep them there. Just don't put the distortion on the frequencies below, say, 60 hertz or so. You'll still get all of the saturation feel and sound from it, but you won't get the fatigue and the kind of negative impact on the audio playback. All right. These are good. These are good. I would shorten the sword strikes, just because it looks like they're still resolving as dude on the screen is already moving into his next sequence. So I would probably like just batch select all of those sword swipes and then just warp them just a tiny bit shorter. So you're keeping the entirety of the sound, but it's being delivered just a little bit more quickly. And then it probably feels like it's like super on point. That was good. Hey, let's listen to that again. So that last ring, you can put an envelope on there to kind of curtail that a little bit quicker. That's really good sync there. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's do this one. Yeah, again. Yeah. Yeah. And the low end was wrangled much better in that one too, I think. All right, and this is my absolute favorite. I fell in love with the bassy sound I made at the end. Don't get confused why there ain't no sound at the start. I had to start the SFX at the specific frame. Gotcha. Again. Yeah, I like all of that. There's that little bass charge sound that I would probably bring that up in the mix just a little bit, just to kind of clue the audience into the fact that there's some sort of a charge or build up happening here. The rare Ohm advice to desaturate. Let's see what people in the chat are saying. Oof. Rip Boy coming in saying AI music. By the way, hi Dave. How are you? Britboy saying, AI music depressed me. Computers coming out with good sound and stuff in 3 seconds started making me think, why am I bothering then? Just trying to put it to one side, though. You know, I do hear this quite a bit from people, and I would counter that by saying, you know, when Prince was alive, he was knocking stuff out at a shameful rate. Like, we're talking without all of the assistance of all these other tools, but like he steps on the stage and or in the studio, and he's so prolific that he's basically the songwriter for dozens and dozens of other artists, and the public just doesn't even realize this. The reason why I bring this up is like, dude, there's always going to be folks that make it appear that stuff is just printed like inconsequentially almost as like fodder or something. But the ideas that pop into your head next Thursday only pop into your head next Thursday. And if you get them out, then we have a chance to hear those things. That's really all any of it is actually about. Not how it compares to anything else, just what pops into your head on a Thursday and if you choose to share it or not. I think. Mind over matter. Or eyes on your own paper, perhaps. It's like ignorance is bliss, right? You know, the old saying, ignorance is bliss. It's true about a great many things. I'm Detoxing is asking, what program is this animation made in? It's made in Roblox. It's either Moon Animator or Blender. Yeah, people are liking this. It's good stuff. Hard lap. I abused the hell out of some raw sounds. Oh. Oh, yeah, the vocal type sound in there. Yeah. You know, it's a good thing. What you're talking about right now, you're saying, hey, it's cool. I put a vocal sound. It's a ghost sound that I layered in because it sounded good. That right there is the kind of stuff that has to happen. Like, you guys see me do it all the time, right? I make stuff completely random and totally out of context, and then I bring those things in intentionally, and I like randomly layer them with things. And it's for this purpose of this element of discovery and surprise, and you just never really know until you put something in there exactly what's gonna happen. It's true. Something good. The famous vault of his stuff is so epic. Ignorance is expensive. Oh, Ludi. Syndromic says, AI will make sounds, art, music for AI. No life experience, no pain, no joy, just copying. It's an automatic stock gallery of media. Yes, it will take over Fiverr jobs, but those weren't jobs in most cases, just entry-level busy work. Career artists won't do. I feel bad for people from other countries that depend on that money. AI can't make human feeling art for now and likely for the foreseeable future. Yeah, it's you know, it's all about how you use the tools around you. It really is. Once all of the dust settles a little bit and all of the fear stuff comes down and these tools have been around for a while, like Photoshop was hugely alarming, horribly alarming, and also super, super cool. And it allowed people that were not photographers or photo editors to actually start making some pretty cool things. And I bet every single one of you in the community uses those types of tools now without even contemplating the extreme impact that it had upon an industry decades ago now, as it were. Yeah, I guess my point is the beat goes on, and when you do come up for air and the dust has settled, and you do pick up an AI toy, and you don't just hit the generate or the random button. Instead, you start bringing all of your creations to it. You'll start to kind of see the the real potential of all of it. Yeah. Respect Excel. 404. Welcome in. Happy Friday. You get free sounds here. Since you're subbed to the Twitch, you can go and sync your profile on Discord, and there is a channel called Subscriber Rewards. And in there, you will find some free sounds for you. If we can go back to discovering the wheel, that's fine. Right? Obedience equals copying. Original is impossible. You guys are you're making shirts. You're making bumper stickers. That's what's happening right now. Oh my goodness. OhmLab says last two song snippets are concepts for two, I guess, dance animations. I'm not sure what they were planning, but they said, hey, time to cook now. Let's do this.
kontakt.
This was fun. It had a really unique kind of original quality to it. If you put a sub pitch drop at 14 seconds, I feel like that moment would really hit. 16 seconds, super interesting use of an iconic sample. I don't think I've ever heard it used that way, to be perfectly honest. And 43 seconds, and the key of this hit in that transition was super unique. In that moment. You got some interesting things happening here, OhmLab. Alright. Wait, should I be calling you Boku Nero now? Boku Nero? I probably should, right? I like this one. OhmLab, I think this one's pretty fresh too. I do. I think that you've got a. I mean, I've mentioned this previously, but you've got a really good ear for what might work together. You have a pretty interesting knack for identifying potential. I don't have a lot to critique in this one. I think this one is kind of right smack dab in the middle of the genre. I don't think there's anything kind of sticking out as needing to be addressed. It's good stuff, man. I'm just tracking this little side conversation in the chat. Are you calling my house art? I'm suggesting I'd rather have a person that knows what they're doing build my house rather than someone doing some experimental art. Oh, OhmLab, it is okay. No worries. OhmLab is saying, I wish I could gift right now for taking so much time away from others. I'm so sorry. No, dude, this is, you know what? We're all growing together, right? Everybody here is getting feedback for the same exact reason you are getting feedback. Everybody's growing. GG, it is you. Happy Friday to you. Art Attack, work in progress. Ooh, we got a video here. So we're gonna go take a look at that.
Hey, look. Too high, I'm spaced out. Even drug off my face now, the human race tie up their legs now. I've been running this game too long. It's no wonder you're looking to take that. Better know that all the munches inside the cop looking to make rounds. Face up, face split, face down.
Bangers, baby girl, you're a 10. About to switch up the beat like Ben 10. Look at the pum pum mash up. Yeah, you better catch up, get your cash up. Look at the back, it's mad. How can I handle that? Turn to a freak when a bunda fat. Look at the back, look at them hips, look at them tricks, look at the gap. She looked back, she got me splat like fucking heart attack.
My lungs are pressed up breathing. Still got trouble believing. Is it rhyme or reason? Cause the timing seems misleading.
Look at the back, it's mad. How can I handle that? Turn to a freak. Look at the back, look at them hips, look at them tricks, look at the gap. Back, she got me splat like fucking heart attack.
Gal come screaming Jobsy. She giving Essex boy sloppy. On road dodging the sirens. Best know I'm in charge like a tyrant. Acting up like Ben Stiller. Dexy, that's my driller. Pagans girl hiding in my DMs. Don't blame me, I'm my thriller. Chop it up, rapping tickets. Jobs my flow is the sickest. She a sweet one, but I know she vanilla. Man chat shit, then I'm going Herxilla. Swimming in peace, give me the loot. King Thierry with a golden boot. Is that enough? That's said with aura. Take your girl, explore like Dora.
Fresh tic-tac-toe. Like hit that, miss that, go. I'm a dog when I won't get thrown. If no meet and group my phone. Yeah, my head to go. I know I come with that hate the snow. I know it's slippery down that road. If you wanna see more C4 explode.
All the bros actually. She ride me like a bike. She found got mad Willy. Hop in the whip, mad dizzy. Lots of peas, mad Lizzie. Bags in it. She said she wanna link up, but I can't change. I'm mad busy. Been through pain and savagery. I ain't got plan B. Bad bitches won't find me. I'm a lion, no lion, like Dandy. She wanna lick on the candy. She wanna pick of the pantry. Cause me and my girl be twinning. Yeah, we winning. Same fit, babe girl be gymming. Where you at, just send me the pin. Send me the pin, you better.
Yo, okay, I like this. This video is out of control. Like this is trying to formulate the right words here. What is the video? The video is like super in line with what is happening right now. Like we were actually just kind of talking about it with AI and all this stuff like coming out this like super over the top impressive, like they're aiming for perfect, right? And it happens in a matter of seconds. And meanwhile, humans are like falling more and more in love with like nostalgia and pixelation and like inaccuracies and imperfections in stuff. And I think it's freaking great. Ships passing in the night. Okay, so on this one, there's a few different things. I would say the vocal that's looping in the background is a little bit distracting at times when the main vocals are operating. So you might want to take a look at little volume automation. When main vocals present, just dip the background vocal a little bit. You could always set up some sort of like ducking thing there, but automation never fails. The other thing I would say is you might want to play just a little bit with some degradation stuff, right? With some bit crusher or tape warble or a little wow flutter, maybe even some VHS type tape manipulation. The reason why I say it is because you've got so many cool things happening visually in this video that if you were to align what we're seeing with what we're hearing just a little bit more aesthetically speaking, then I think you've got something pretty unique here and really simply successful, right? Like it doesn't need to be manipulated in any heavy way. More just kind of like a nod to the fact that like we see everything happening here in this video. It's not just reacting to what is being played, right? When you look at old school music videos, you see there's like this storyline, right? And oftentimes in music videos nowadays, we don't get the storyline in the video. We just get kind of activity, right? So if we correlate things aesthetically, it's kind of doing a similar kind of a thing there for us. So yeah, good stuff. Mm. 404 grandson, it's all good. No worries. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate you. Something good. Everybody, sit down. We're going to listen to something tasty here. Something jazzy. 7th of August from Something Good. You mixed this drunk, by the way. Hola, homie. Let's do this. That's it? We're back to the 45-second thing again, are we? Dude, maybe you should mix drunk more often. This is dope. I like this. I like where this is sitting. It's got a nice little tightness to it. It's warm. I'm not sold on the low end cutoff. Like you could probably bring the low end cutoff all the way up to like 50, 55 hertz on this one, 12 dB per octave curve. It feels like it might be a little thick down low. Maybe even a shelf from that point forward up to like 80 hertz or something like that, just like a couple dB down. I like how these short little notes feel like they're escaping a grasp or something, like they're just squeaking out. Yeah, there's like a tightness to this. It's good stuff. Just be happy I sent a 20-second track first, but edited the link. It's a good thing I blabber so much for the first hour of the show, right? It gives you a chance to produce another 20 seconds of content. Seriously though, like maybe your next track you should mix drunk. and see how it goes, because this one feels pretty good. This one feels pretty good. I want more. Dragonleaf. It is you. Man, is this all you, by the way? Something good? Is this entirely you, or is there anyone else cooking with you on this one? That's going to make you become an alcoholic. It's all you. Oh, man. It's really good. It's really super good. I oftentimes will go back and I listen to your stuff outside of the streams. This is Crowfisher from Dragonleaf. And look at this art. I don't know about the ending. What if it ended on a fill? Although I do like that tail there at the end. I like the crows in this. I feel like there's potentially crow funk lurking in this as a subgenre, right? You know how Witch House kind of came out as its own thing? You could get crow funk, I bet. I bet you could make this happen. There's a darkness to funk. All right, so 33 seconds in. I think the plucks are nice. They're a little bit bright for something that's being maintained, like something, well, not bright, a little clear and kind of perfect almost. So what if they were slightly detuned over time and then kind of came back? So you'd just be putting an LFO, like a slow crawling LFO, like an 8-bar LFO or something like that on the detune on your oscillator, right? And not an egregious amount, just a bit. And what it's going to do is it creates separation, which immediately creates more depth and width and movement, right? It starts to create that kind of like phasey kind of sound in it. But this is such a short form sound that you're not going to hear a lot of that weird phasey development over time. All you're going to hear really is the fact that these plucks, these cowbell plucks are like kind of doing some weird stereo things, right? They're getting wider and a little more interesting. Got almost like a warble to them, and then they're coming back and they're super tight again. What if at, I'm not sure if it was at 124 or 125, but there's a snare hit right there that felt like it could totally be reversed just for no other reason than for the sake of it being interesting right there. And at 146, perhaps a bigger drum fill than the simple one. The reason why I point out these two little things is there's not a lot of change over time happening here. It's not that the song is dragging or anything like that. It's not lacking in any way. But if you were to just augment something in the mix that already exists, by like reversing it or making it move in the stereo field or something like that, those things really stand out to the listener. Especially when it only occurs the one time. Something good. Take care, homie. Thank you for the 45 seconds of yum. Crowfong. Crowfong. OhmLab. Our favorite Wikipedia editor, OhmLab. All right, let's see what you cooked up today. How are you doing after your ice cream over there? Two little stabs. Yo, so good. Just so good. There's so many little things in this, dude. So many tiny little things. These two little stabs. Just everything about the bass. This bit crush hit, the very first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that's great. It's got to be moved around stereo field. The very next time it comes up, I like, you're moving it around stereo field. It's great. All of it's great. Perhaps subtle pitch bend down on one element in the mix here, 222. Maybe a long form, like maybe one that lasts like 8 seconds or so, right? Maybe even longer. 255 secondary pad down a few here. It just felt like with the decay being opened up on both these and them just being kind of so ever present, I'm not sure. I think there's still yet another element in there, and that can come down. Break was cool, but wanting a bit more of a playground kind of feel to it. Felt a little lacking in inspiration compared to the heat that's being felt throughout the rest of the track. There's just this like, this is it kind of feel to the entirety of the rest of the track. And in this break, I felt things that were like, oh, it could have something right here. And I like the time being given to the detuning and change over time, and yet also I think there could be cool like little cutouts and stuff maybe. Yeah. I don't know, something in the break. Anyway, really good feels at 350. 419, the simplicity of this transition here, the simplicity of this one element bending down is perhaps more impressive and satisfying overall than the more complex pre-break transition that we were hearing, which had similar things happening, but this one with just the clarity of focus, just the one element going down is really nice. 459, great change up. Would be cool. It also would be cool to have a small transition effect here. Perhaps maybe even a subtle percussive stutter or something that one might not consider to be a transition effect. Yeah, there is a lot of time and space to do some cool stuff. I think you're right there. This bass, dude, it feels good. And it articulates so nicely. It behaves well. Crusoe, it is you. Happy Friday. And Zerky's back too. Nice, and we're almost to ain't so. That is what this one is called. Let's do it.
Can we still be friends? Be honest. Can barely hold on. So drawn us. You told me it's easy to just let go, and even though I tried, I still hold on. I want to say
Crusoe, this is a fantastic piece of art. It's really, really, it is its own thing, and it feels genuine. I love the aesthetic, and I like the close, intimate vocal position. It feels kind of personal and vulnerable, right? Very kind of lean in and also lean back, like lay back kind of thing. There's this kind of nostalgic quality to the stopping point that you rested on with the distortion here. It reminds me of singing into a cheap condenser mic as a kid while playing on a synth, right? It's got this broken kind of quality to it. It's really nice. Could come down at 136. I think a de-esser would be a good choice at 142. There's also just a little bit of kind of spectral sparkliness in there from the processing. So you could do a couple of things. If the de-esser doesn't really tap that down in the way that you'd like, you could use a responsive EQ or plug in like Soothe that's kind of intended to deal with resonance. Or you could just hunt and peck for a little bit of resonance in there. Either way, any of those three. It doesn't have to be anything like super perfect or surgical, because this isn't dialogue in a BBC documentary, right? It's all super processed anyway. So you're really just looking for comfort on that one. 157, impressive bass, but I think it would feel better if not at that extreme volume. Just the extreme nature is enough of a stark contrast in the moment, right? It's like it's an extreme juxtaposition. There doesn't also need to be an extreme loudness involved, because it's a huge deviation from, it almost breaks contract with like this personal space that you've built, right? By putting yourself right here in my face, right? and then all of a sudden to be so rude as to rah! Right in my face. So if that was backed off just a little bit, I think that you probably appreciate the juxtaposition more, and I think you probably feel a bit more of the emotional impact of all of that, rather than just like the abrupt reaction to the kind of obtuse entrance there. 225. I can hear, especially here at the end, and you can see that the waveform has swelled up quite a bit here, but I can hear compression engaging because of sub frequencies peaking. So there's a few things here. One, you don't need all the sub frequencies. In this music, in this song, you could probably bring the low end cutoff all the way up to 50, 55 hertz. You won't lose anything. You'll get a little bit more clarity throughout the entirety of your track. You might get a little bit more power throughout your track, but you're not going to lose anything, just gain. So there's one thing. And then also maybe just leave the sub out of, or the low end bass out of the compression entirely, and see what that does to your mix, see how it feels. I think that's what I got for you right now. Real Tactics, welcome in. Rick Rose, welcome in. Ricky Rose. Very tasty stuff. Very tasty stuff. Zendremic. Happy Friday, homie. Ooh, 808 Day. I was wondering if anyone was going to do anything for 808 Day this year. Whoa, what did I just do? Let's try that again. There we go. Zendremic. Let's do this. There's the delays. Give it to me now and give me more. Right, Zendremic. Yeah. Stank bass. Stank bass. It's the stank bass that gives you the stank face when it appears in a track. Stank bass. 29 seconds in, more separation between the bass and that second synth. Panning from center, I think, would probably help it. Like, it is cool how it arrives right on top of the other note, but then I feel like I don't know. I think you feel what I'm saying because you were already doing the stuff that I was saying. I was like, hey, about adding some more delays, and then you do delays. I think we're on the same page. And what if you added to these little blippy synths? What if you start adding really subtly, so it doesn't become too chaotic, but a little bit of pitch shifting to the delays, or detuning to the delays? It's always super interesting when that stuff happens. Satisfying little tune. Okay, and lastly, what if there was a tiny little bit of dialogue, or maybe even just like a single word? Maybe it's 8. Oh, 8. Maybe it's 808. Maybe that's what I'm missing in there. Maybe you should have the letters 808. Or 8 and then O and then 8. Ooh, that'd be good. Maybe an O sample and an 8. And kind of play with those throughout or something. Oh, yeah. I think that might be what's missing here. It's not really about making the blips any more intriguing, interesting, or complex. I think they're fine. I think they're missing a companion to play with. Okay. Zerky, it is you. Let's do it. Yes. Okay. Proto hype. Charme Remedy Zerky Remix version 0.3.
I've been aiming for, waiting for a remedy, way too more. What am I waiting for to cure my insecurity? Gone are the days alone. I've been waiting for me. I've been waiting to cure my insecurity. I've been aiming for, waiting for a remedy, way too more. What am I waiting for to cure my insecurity? Gone are the days alone. I've been waiting for me. I've been
Yeah, okay, so Luff's down a bit. I'm not sure where this is sitting, but it feels, I mean, there's nothing detrimental happening to the mix right now because of the Luffs. You've done a really good job of keeping things very clear and clean, not breaking as the loudness has increased. It's just that it's at a point where it's almost not comfortable. So down just a bit. The bass is pretty huge. Really, really liking the quality, the space, the tone. It's good sound design. Vocals are a good match for the palette, by the way. 1 minute in, nice warfare action. I would say at 117, making a bit more room for the vocals to return unobstructed here. There's still a little bit of the bass moving around and stuff, and if you can just kind of wrap some of that up a little bit quicker so the vocals can come in without bumping into it on the way up, that'd be good. Low end cutoff up to 45 hertz. It's a little low and rumbly right now. You're still going to keep all of your low end frequencies. You're just going to lose just a little bit of the chest thump, and you're going to lose just a little bit of the obfuscation of sounds being delivered in that kind of like 200 to 350, maybe even up to 500 range. You'll get a little bit more clarity in those frequencies when you make that cut. At 150, the sustained bass level and louder vocal presence is just lessening the impact of the double time beat here. So this right here is a good moment. It's a good lesson in batch processing, right? Batch limiting is a good way to approach like managing all of this loudness that you want from these different things, and still yet also kind of protect the integrity of some certain sounds that might be a little bit more delicate, or allow some certain sounds in the mix to exist a little bit differently. Like for instance, this double time beat right here, it's not being pushed in the same ways that everything else is. It can be treated a little bit differently, so it can stand out a little bit differently in the mix. Probably worth taking a look at there, because it's a great moment. And 213 is a great sax moment. There was one other moment where you had the sax tearing through the arrangement like that. This was just a perfectly aligned moment there. Yeah, maybe neg 3. It is. Yeah, it's pretty loud. I would say, hey, what's up, Jeff James? How you doing? I'd say, you know, streaming platforms are just going to bring it all down anyway. But here's what you do. Bounce one at neg 12, bounce one at neg 8, and bounce one at neg 6. And see what you think about those. And don't listen to them right after you bounce them. Just go away for a bit. Let your ears totally reset. Maybe the next day even come in and listen to them. And listen to them critically. And if the one that is at neg 12 is one that you have a hankering to turn up just a little bit, then you're probably at the right spot already. Because you want to be able to turn it up just a little bit. If you can't turn it up, then you've got a bit of a problem. Because if you've got a banger, people want to turn it up. Chosen Son. Jeff or James. Let's do this. Happy Friday to you. This one is called Alone Again. Yeah, it was a good call, Real Techlix. You were close. Yeah, you are welcome, Zerky. All right, Alone Again. Let's do this.
Tell me
Okay. Dude, this is great. I think mostly the thing that I would like to hear different in this is hearing the main vocals down just a bit and then the reverb on the main vocals down just a touch more than what you bring the main vocals down by. So they're just a little bit more supportive of the main vocals rather than an extension of the main vocal. And then, I mean, they're obviously going to be an extension of just because the long decay on the reverb and delays. But the next thing is to EQ the lowest and highest frequencies out of the reverb of the main vocals. And this will let the highs and lows of the original signal really shine. And they won't run into the reverberated version of themselves hanging out in space, which is kind of where the soupiness can kind of start to happen in a track like this. Everything else is mostly feeling pretty good. When you bring down these vocals, and I think you're probably going to find that the main vocal, like it could come down as much as like 8 dB maybe. And if that is the case, then, you know, maybe the reverb is coming down like maybe 9 dB or something like that. But regardless of what the actual numbers end up being, when that's all done, sit and listen with a critical ear to the bass. And if the bass is poking out just a little bit too much, you might want to bring it down in volume as well. Just because right now it's kind of keeping pace with the vocals. And if those vocals come down a bit, it might need to balance just a little bit. So. I think you may have hypnotized Zimdremic right out of English. Just knocked the English right out of him. Liv says, this is giving me Roixop vibes. Yeah, this is good. I would also say that I'm not sure what's changed in your setup, but the vocals themselves sounded better in this track than the last couple that you've brought by. It might just be a matter of learning and getting better over time, or it might be a matter of something you're doing in your chain, but it is noticeable. Medici. Let's do it. This one's called Fancy.
Feeling fancy. Like, ooh,
Got it.
like, ooh, feeling fancy. Feeling fancy. Man, I feel like giving us a chance. Love the way you fit in them pants. I'm burning all my plans. Throw this money out, shake it like a fan. Chop out my pocket like I'm Clancy. She bad, bad, have a living fancy. Baby, I'ma have you living fancy. She bad, bad, have a living fancy. 5-star tables on the way to friends. We pop out at the club, you can bring your friend. What's in the case? Just a couple M. But baby, don't go let my DM. Cause when the tears fall, that's what the diamonds in your ears for. She don't know the life, so I feel for her. But baby, yeah, that's what I'm here for. Yeah, all this cash, I'll be in the same page like euphoria. Like euphoria, euphoria, euphoria. Man, I feel like giving us a chance. Love the way you fit in them pants. I'm burning all my plans. Throw this money out, shake it like a fan. Chop out my pocket like I'm Clancy. She bad, bad, have a living fancy. Baby, I'ma have you living fancy. She bad, bad, have a living fancy. 5-star tables on the way to friends. We pop out at the club, you can bring your friend. What's in the case? Just a couple M. But baby, don't go let my DM. No, don't go doing that to yourself right now. Baby, yeah, we letting them like, ooh.
All right. I'd bring the low end cutoff up to 45 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. I'd bring the sub down 8 to 12 dB. Right now, it feels like a track that was made where you might not have the best low end monitoring in the room that you're producing in. So definitely open up a meter and try to correlate visually what you're able to hear. And the more often you do that, the more often you have a meter open and you're looking at the meters, and like when you get feedback, you're hearing from people, oh, the bass is a little too loud or whatever, correlate that, like recognize what's happening with your meter and where that peak is hitting, so you can get better and better and better at dialing in the frequencies that you can't hear in that room. And then I think the snare can use a little bit of reverb. It feels just a touch dry right now. Everything else mostly feels pretty much in line. There were a couple of small embellishments in there. There was like this little digital sound effect that was barely audible, and if it had a chance to come up, it would feel better probably in the arrangement. Having that sub bass come down a whole bunch of decibels is going to help being able to hear and identify other sounds in the mix just in general. That's what I got for you on that one. All right, who is next? Oh yeah, here we go. We got 404 Grandson, who is also IB Kato here. This one's called Out of This World.
Fit just like nobody. She don't need Pilates, she don't need no touch up on her body. And compared to her, these other bitches face look like a zombie. There's no comparing her, she's out this world just like Illuminati. That bitch so fine, borderline divine. I might break her spine, not gonna lie. None of these other bitches made me lose my mind. Picking sides, my ex went and fucked me over hella times. In my mind, I know none of these goofy bitches do me right. Besides you, I've been working, but you have me cursing when I'm inside you. Bathroom Birkin, another bathroom Hermes, I might buy you too. Diamonds, rubies, sapphires, I'm gonna shower you in jewel. I know it's not what you was asking, it's just what I wanna do. Riding in a Tesla Roadster. Yeah, this bitch is bad as fuck, I can't approach her. Attitude, she quick to draw it out the holster. Altitude, she so goddamn fine, I can't come closer. That hoe made me lose my mind and draw my breath away. She made me high like I just popped a perk in ecstasy. And I know I'm making her hot too, I see it in her face. In my room, I'm loving how she move, I start to lose my place. All I smoke is potent, and it's better not to speak on all the times that I would shoot. I can't help, I'm broken, but my time been moving faster and my pain resides with you. Working 5 to 2, conscious got me marching, now I come home black and blue. Margins in my brain, but they be dormant when you're chilling in my room. I don't even know about how the fuck you do it, I might lose it. If you out of line, I tying your ass up just like I'm tuning. When you back it up, I'm tweaking when we spooning. Yeah, she bad as fuck, like when we side to side, I have her fuming. When she play my music, all her speakers booming. It's amusing. Yeah, this bitch is pretty in her face and she got body teeth. Let her pick up on my brain and look inside and what she'll see. I'm a crazy motherfucker, think about her in my sleep. I'm addicted to her style, smile, and discography. Riding in a Tesla Roadster. Yeah, this bitch is bad as fuck, I can't approach her. Attitude, she quick to draw it out the holster. Altitude, she so goddamn fine, I can't come closer. That hoe made me lose my mind and draw my breath away. She made me high like I just popped a perk in ecstasy. And I know I'm making her hot too, I see it in her face. In my room, I'm loving how she move, I start to lose my place.
Okay, IB Kato or 404 Grandson, which one do you prefer? I would bring the 808 down a bit. It's 6 dB to start, probably. Try not to distort the frequencies below 80 hertz on this one. So you're doing all of this on your phone, so this may not be an easy thing to do. Are you doing this like in GarageBand on your phone then? Pretty good with the phone, I would say. If you're doing this in GarageBand on your phone, then, in BandLab. Okay, so if it's in BandLab, then you can do this still. Put an EQ. How are we doing this? You're distorting the 808. Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of tools they give you for that. In BandLab, I'm not really sure. All right, so anyway, just 808 down a bit. Set the low one cutoff to 45 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. The track doesn't need to be pushed to this loudness, so I'd back off the limiting and aim for neg 14, neg 12 LUFS on this track. And if you're not seeing that easily in BandLabs, then what I would do is probably just grab a reference track, pick like a few songs in a similar style of music that you have respect for, and compare your loudness to their loudness. Nothing else about the track, just the loudness. And then reverb on the main vocal. EQ it. I will show you how. First, you open up an EQ on your reverb channel, and then after you get your reverb open, chop off the highs and the lows. Where's my EQ here? Oh, it's over on the screen here. We're going to chop off the highs and lows, and you're going to do much more aggressive EQ work on something like this than you would on anything else in your track, because what you're trying to do is just kind of get rid of these frequencies that aren't actually necessary. They just kind of hang out in the mix, and they make it harder to hear other things. So you can start with something like this on the vocals and see what you think. You might want to move this up a little bit more or down just a little bit. It's entirely to taste. What you don't want is a bunch of lower frequencies hanging out from your vocals in the mix down here when there's a whole bunch of other sounds active in the mix. That's it. That's for the EQ on your reverb channel for your main vocals. Ramford, thanks so much. Oh, that's neg 14, not 14. Stay negative, my friends. Text jokes are hard. It's hard to joke over text sometimes, you know. Steely, it is you. Let's do this. Chetton Strange. Chetton Strategy. Hey, I sent my track to get feedback, especially how to understand why it didn't work. I don't usually have a huge number of listens, but I have at least 600 listens when the track is released. And on YouTube, I have at least 2,000 views. But for this song, it made a big flop, and I don't understand. Okay, let's do this. Upstream request timeout. What does that even mean? It's having a hard time. Is Spotify having a hard time right now? We might be seeing that. Spotify is having a problem. Is this actually all necessary? Hold on a second. Actually, I don't know that this is all necessary in here. Let me just pull this up here a little bit differently. Let's take out all of this stuff here. Heyo, got it. You just had some extra stuff in your URL there. Let's listen to this one. See if we can figure this out with you.
I remember your high voice and your long hair and all the brightly colored clothes you used to wear. How it became a reason to hurt you over the season. Your skin crumbled, a creep paper, the scraps you left behind blurred into memories bitter. And people's words that made you feel blue, and how they laughed when they talked about you. It just sank underwater. 'Cause you reshaped your dreams into pieces of a puzzle that wasn't yours. Thinking your true self was like a disease, watching your life through 1,000 closed doors. Your bed drifted out to the sea, and now you're frozen. Your teenage days joined the ocean. Did all the pieces of you fully come together? Where lost memories can remain around. Weightless memories. Your skin crumbled, a creep paper, the scraps you left behind blurred into memories bitter. And people's words that made you feel blue, and how they laughed when they talked about you. It just sank underwater. 'Cause you reshaped your dreams into pieces of a puzzle that wasn't yours. Thinking your true self was like a disease, watching your life through 1,000 closed doors. Cause you reshaped your dreams into pieces of a puzzle that wasn't yours. Thinking your true
So this song, Steely, it's a good song, but the mix on it isn't good. It's too pushed in too many ways. I don't remember your other stuff having this problem whatsoever. If you want to link to something else, let's listen to a few. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I can just do this right here. I'm just going to push play on this one here really quick.
just like you're pissing on. We used to sit in
Yeah, this sounds completely different. If you go back and you listen to this track and you compare it to 2 or 3 songs of yours that perform well, here's what's happening. You probably have some fans that like to listen to your stuff fairly repetitiously, right? They probably put a fair number of your tracks into playlists that they then listen to on a regular basis, okay? That's probably where a fair number of your listens are coming from. So when you have a track that doesn't perform well like this, it's your listeners saying, whoa, this is not as satisfying to me. That's really what this is. And so within 1 second, I could tell that the LUFs are just too hot. And then within the next couple of seconds, I could tell that this isn't mixed the same as your other stuff. There's a bunch of low end in several of the tracks that could be removed with an EQ. And there's high end that's being saturated when it doesn't need to be saturated, like with some distortion. And there are high frequencies in the mix that can be EQ'd out of individual sounds that haven't been. But more than anything, those things are being made more apparent because they're all at a loudness level that's just unnatural for them. So pretty much anything that we could pick on in any one of those sounds, we would pick on because we would be able to hear it more prominently. Makes sense? So if you bring all of that down, that's a good place to start. But definitely go and spend a little bit more time on the EQing. That's going to be the next really big thing. Because all of those frequencies add up at the end of the day. So That's what I got for you on this one. When pushed to an unnatural loudness, vocals, especially female vocals, can be somewhat painful or fatiguing, and you do have a bit of that happening here as well. It's not just a matter of EQing. It's some of the stuff is just a hard fact about loudness and certain frequencies. The way that some people get away with making stuff much louder and not hitting those pain points is just being aware of them. And that's really as much as it takes. You're just going to go in and make sure that you're not hitting very specific frequencies at certain volume levels. These are the two big things. Excellent. Glad you can see it. Thing is, not good enough to mix everything alone, so I asked a sound guy, and he is the same who mixed the other stuff, so I don't know why he did the choices here. Yeah. Okay, so if you went back to the same person, I would sit down and have a conversation with them and just be straight up with them. Just tell them, like, I'm not happy with this mix. I want to have you redo this. I really liked the mixes that you did for me before. Can we open up those old projects and save some presets, right? So now when they open up future projects, they can at least be looking at some of the settings that they used before in the same tools, and just let them know, like, hey, I want to stick with the same tools. They probably deviated from the tools that they were using previously and just started making different choices from there. It's really easy to do. And as Syndromic is saying, it takes a long time to learn the sound stuff. He says, I've been going for 10 years. I have no clue what I'm doing. It always changes. And that's the thing, is like if you're dealing with someone that has a sound kind of dialed in with you, then they should know better than not to deviate from the tools or best practices that they employed the first few times around with you. So just go back to them, have that conversation with them, and have them listen to a couple of tracks with you that were successful, and then listen to this one and come to an agreement where you both are agreeing that what is being said and heard is in agreement. So you guys are in alignment. So when he comes back with something else the next time, it's better. Only mixed for a year, so still need a lot of help. Yeah, and that's so expected. Yeah, you can't expect anything other than that, really. Real Techlick says, been producing for 6 years and still don't know anything. Yeah, I know people that mix stuff really started to open up for them, like really make sense for them, as much as 20 years into mixing. And a lot of it is really, honestly, it's just being willing to be really honest about things when you're hearing them with yourself. Yeah, and then making really definitive choices. But you got it easy. You just have to go back and talk to someone. So you can do that. Far Horizon. It is you. Emergence. And look at this art. There's some interesting art this time. Real Techlix. Oh my gosh, I did. Why did I do that? Why? Thank you. This is great. This hair color with this shirt color really jumps. Why? All right, Moonlight. This is with AI vocal placeholder, and it's a work in progress. Far. Hello. We'll be right back with you. We're going back to TechLeaks really quick.
Midnight skies now end in sight. Headlights shine the road so bright. Windows down, the cool breeze near. Music's loud, no one to hear. City lights, they fade away. Countryside, we find our way. Shines all night till the day breaks. In this car, it all feels loud.
Yo, Techlix, this is so tasty. Shaving just the slightest amount of high frequencies off of the snare and maybe bringing the main snare down just like 1 dB. I know that's so super nitpicky, but if you could do that, I think it might be in the pocket. And then the hats, I think, are bright enough to carry kind of the high frequency presence from the drum section there overall. 133, love the understated position of this perk that replaced the snare. It feels slightly overcompressed. I like it. I like this kind of chunkiness to it. At 252, there's a sub impact that kind of wraps up the track, and that can come up a good 4 dB. And I don't really have anything that I want like fixed in this. I just want to be able to hear that sub impact just a little bit better. And I think that the main snare is just a touch needy, just barely. That's what I got for you. I dig this one quite a bit. And I don't think you're missing the mark by much with the AI vocal placeholder there. Okay. Now for the reels. I'm going to click on this Far Horizon thing here. See what he made. Emergence. You made a thing. Let's listen to the thing. It's Andremic, of course. Thank you, homie. Oh! Hey, Danny's here. Everybody follow I'm Imagine It. Far Horizon, this was fantastic. I like the beginning. This is great. Okay, so initially, and until, how long is this track? This track is 428. It took me until 329 to realize why you had this reverb on this snare. Up to that point, I was thinking to myself, I don't know if this is really the right reverb. But when you hear it coming out, it's just so good. It's so good. Okay, losing track of the melodic here at times during all the bass activity. 213, there's just a lot of Morphe stuff happening. 244, lovely little guttural liquid effects. And there's a couple of these lurking in here in the mix, but I don't really feel like we're hearing them or feeling them up near the surface enough. Not sure if they just need to wiggle up towards the surface a bit more, or if it's just a byproduct of the activity of the bass. I think you can get them up a bit more. 307, this moment right here, and the rapid oscillation that's happening is just, it's everything. It's everything. But seriously, when you come out of that back into the full mix and we hear that snare and that first hit and we can hear the ring in the reverb, I'm like, yeah, okay, so now I get why the reverb is what it is.
baby.
Okay, 47 seconds, these little cowbell stabs, which I think they are anyway. In the beginning, there are these piano stabs at the end, but they're nice. 808 down a few. Open hats on the far right can come down. They're a little distracting. 2 minutes in, that little flash charge sound effect in there is clever. I like that. Just in general, for the entirety of the mix, I would say bring the low end cutoff up to 45 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve, so it's a gentle one. And then just in general, there is an issue with the general mix presence, right? Like the shine and luster and presence of the track is nowhere near that of the producer tag that's being used in the track, so it kind of puts a spotlight on it, right? So there's a few things that can be done here, but I think a good place to start is setting up yourself with some reference tracks to compare as you're working, because it sounds to me like you're making good decisions along the way, but you're doing this in isolation, so it's not being compared to anything as you work, which is fine once you have the whole sound dialed in, right? Like once you get all your mixing chops and everything, that's fine. But until then, you should use some reference material and compare your stuff to other stuff to get used to the idea of critiquing your work and identifying if your stuff is muddy or dark or bright or brittle or too loud or too quiet or distant, or right, you can start to kind of put names to these different qualities that you're hearing. And right now I can hear that in comparison to the audio tag in this track, the strings, for instance, feel kind of pushed back into the distance and they're at a low volume comparatively, but they're also kind of a big player, kind of a big component of this track. So it'd be worth going back and listening to a few tracks in a similar style of music that you have a great deal of respect for, and listen just very, very closely, very critically to where each one of the individual elements in the mix is loudness-wise, and where it is pan position-wise in the stereo field, right? And does that ever change throughout the track, right? And just kind of study those tracks a little bit, and then listen back to yours and actually write down the differences, right? And say those differences out loud. And when you do that a few times, it's going to have a bigger impact on you than just kind of making a guess as to what you should do next, right? Those would be my big pieces of feedback right now on this one. Sounds like Hip Hop Avengers. Yeah, right? Far Horizon, thank you. Appreciate you, homie. Okay, this next one is from Glock Doo Doo. Cinderfall, you're to blame. Look at this art, by the way. What is this from?
I feel like this pain will never end. I can't wait for us to meet again. You know that it will never happen. I'm stuck in my head, let's play pretend. The devil's walking out tonight, and I just might let it take my life. Can you tell me what I feel? The hype, I like it. I feel you slip away. Baby, tell me it's okay. Can you please tell me how can I change this fate? I guess you make me burn. I guess we never learn. Why do we play this game? I feel like you're to blame. every day. I do. I think you're so fake. It's true. You're really so fake. Girl, can you leave, baby? I really fear. My heart in danger is likely to tear. You're venomous, I can't handle your breath. The devil's walking out tonight, and I just might let it take my life. Can you tell me why I feel the hype? I like it. I feel you slip away. Baby, tell me it's okay. Can you please tell me how? How can I change this fate? I guess you make me burn. I guess we never learn. Why do we play this game? I feel like you're to blame. I met a demon, I fell for her treason, so give me a reason. I fell in love with her. Must be the aura that dwells in that heathen. Why do I feel so cursed with her? The devil's working out tonight. I just might let it take my life. Can you tell me why I feel the hype? I like it. I feel you slip away. Baby, tell me it's okay. Can you please tell me how? How can I change this fate? I guess you make me burn. I guess we never learn. Why do we play this game? I feel like you're to blame. I met a demon, I fell for her treason, so give me a reason. I fell in love with her. Must be the aura that dwells in that heathen. Why do I feel so cursed with her? And I just can't let it take my life. Can you tell me why I feel the hype? I like it. I feel you slip away. Baby, tell me it's okay. Can you please tell me how? How can I change this fate? I guess you make me burn. I guess we never learn. Why do we play this game? I feel like you're to blame.
Okay. This is really solid. Really good presence on the drums right out the gate. Bass down a few, and perhaps a little less width. It should be in a really supportive position to reinforce the guitars and the drums in tandem, but probably not really stand out on its own too much because it pulls our attention away from the rest of the music. Solid delivery on the vocals. Some finishing multi-band compression on the guitar summing channel would really help the guitars pop in a very certain kind of way. Right now, they feel like exactly what's been done to them. Like they have been wrangled and neutered and put into a box and told to sit in the corner and just behave and not ruin the mix, right? Which is exactly what you need to do to a whole bunch of guitars performing the wall of sound, right? So now you can add back just a little bit of edge to it through a little multi-band compression, I think. Really super strong track. I'd recommend seeing if someone like Masters by Iggy here in the community would have some time to do a master of this track for you. Someone that has a really keen ear for harmonic distortion and making big mixes pop. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And Kwame is here, dropping a track in here, and Ed Bass is here, so we can finally close up this queue. All right, let's see what Ed Bass has made for us today. This one's called Bela? It's ho ho! Again.
Que el tiempo es tiempo y no retorna. Baila. 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 Baila.
Ooh. Yo, Ed Bass, isn't it funny how you can just tell where someone is from? You know, I had the opportunity. I was really lucky to go like sit in on a few drum clinics when I was young. I'm a drummer, and when I was first getting like going down the rabbit hole of percussion, like battery instruments and stuff. I went and I did this drum clinic with the master percussionist from Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. And ever since then, there are these little rhythmic licks that happen that are really super popular. And it's almost uncanny how folks from the local area in Miami just absolutely nail this without even thinking. It's like it's so natural. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like hearing a dialect. You know, it's like hearing someone's accent and knowing where they are. It was a good track. It was a good track. Okay, so I would say I really, really like the hit. I think it might be the hook of the entire track. But if you were to put in a little bleacher Foley in there, just to bring a little bit more kind of organic, huge quality to it, and maybe even some people in there, maybe it even grows over time or something. But it would probably bring a bit more of like the human vibe to this whole thing. It's a good track. It's fun. It's got an infectious quality to it. Kwame, you finally showed. Good track, Ed. All right, let's do this. Just you and Bob chilling in a hammock. Happy Friday. Ooh, hey now. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Kwame, you get me. Man, this is a tricky one, Kwame, because there needs to be a little bit more separation between elements, but each one of the elements is so freaking tasty that you don't want to tell any of them to sit down. Can we just go back and listen to like just the last like introduction of a few different characters here? Okay, everything's super chill right here. Gonna start getting busier. I think part of it might be the sub-bass presence. I think some of it might just be a little bit much. Some of it might be that there is no Barry White talking to me right now, and I want him to be talking to me. And some of it is just that it's a Lufs thing, is that these instruments aren't normally heard with the tails at this peak, right? So it almost sounds a little pad-ish when we have multiple notes layering over each other because the decay time is a little longer. And so maybe if we were to take down the reverb just a little bit on those channels that are similar, like the Malik Kalimba-y kind of rangy stuff. You leave the shaker out and soften the bass. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's carve away time. You have all of the things in place. Now it's what can you carve away before you can't carve away anything else. That's where we are. And we're also at quitting time. A little too washed out, yeah. Yeah, just a little. Not a lot, just a little. But on that note, you guys, we're going to go visit Liv. See what she's up to. Why can't I raid? Hold on a second. Why? Why? Explain it to me like I'm 12. Why can't I do that? Okay. Now it's letting me. I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. We're going to do it again next week. It's going to be awesome. I appreciate you guys. Kwame, I'm glad you finally showed up. I'll see you guys on the flip. Bye.